5 BP Guru. Today we're going to be looking at adding in our final kind of HUD elements, mainly looking at XP and a level, for example. So we're going to be needing our HUD to finish off this last little bit here, and then this will be complete for the time being until I get some new visuals. And we're also going to need our event tick, and we're going to be creating quite a few functions in readiness to set everything up, and a lot more variables too. So if we start with the variables first, there's going to be a long list, so please bear with me. I'm also going to set these into a category so that they're all together. We're going to start with a couple of ints. We're going to go for current level. Change that to integer. And we'll set up a new one. We'll just call this XP. There we go. It's in there. We need to set up a new one. And we want that one to be level cap. This is something that you'll probably do over time, because you're never going to know how many levels you need in order to allow the player to get all the upgrades that you eventually create. I'm going to add a new pin to our sequence here, by the way, just while I'm thinking about it. We need a few more, so the rest are all going to be floats. So change this to float, and we want current XP. We're going to need current max XP. We want current percentage, and we also need two more. We need two more buffer XP. We need a buffer XP, and we need a remaining XP as well. Oh. The only things we need to set as the defaults for these, the rest can all say 0. The only things we need to do is a current max XP, which I'm going to set mine to 100 for now. And the only other thing we want to change is our level cap, which I'm going to just set it to 25 for now. This is all mainly for testing purposes, so it doesn't really need to be anything crazy. And then just whack all these into our XP default so that they're all together and we can find them with these, because we're going to be using all of these during our setup. Okay. There we go. All set up, all in one place, all looking very fancy. Okay. Next thing we need to set up is going to be all of our functions that we're going to be using. So the first one we're going to set up is going to be called calculate XP. This one's very simple. All we need to do is get our current XP and divide that by our current max XP. And then all we want to do is set current percentage, like so. And that's that one done. Compile that. Next function is going to be calculate max XP, and that is going to be our, we're going to get our current max XP. We're going to times by, I'd normally times by 1.7, but you can do this to any number that you think's best. What's happening is every time we level up, it's going to calculate our new max XP, which is going to be times by 1.7. We want to get a seal, and then we want to set our current max XP. Plug that in there, just like so, and that should be all good. So yeah, what that'll do is that'll just basically times whatever our current max XP is to 1.7. What it's doing here is, I believe it's just getting rid of any potential halves and stuff. It's making it a whole number, I believe. But whatever happens is you'll get a new current. Like when you get to level 2, it'll be like 170. Then you get to level 3, 170 it'll be times by 1.7, and so on and so forth. Okay, that's the next one done. We need to get our add XP. Now this will be used anytime you want to give the player some XP, whether it's kill an enemy, whether it's exploding a barrel, whenever it's picking up an item. Yeah, you'll want to call this add XP, and this will add XP to our player. We'll show this off in a very easy way. So in our input, we also want to add in this, which is going to be add XP, and we want that to be a type float. And this is so that wherever we call this function, we can just add in a figure or add in a float, and it will add that XP. Okay, so if you killed a boss, for example, all that XP will come through this function and run with no issues whatsoever. And we can do that from the enemy's death, for example. So we want to add this to our buffer XP. Now our buffer XP is what's going to basically hold all our XP for us to do stuff with, whether it's working out our remaining XP or all that sort of good stuff. So set our buffer XP as whatever that is. Okay, so those two added together becomes our buffer XP. Cool, and that should be our add XP, easy peasy done. The next one is going to be a level up function, okay? And all we need for this one is we need to, we want to check our current level is not over or equal to our level cap. That way, if we only want 25 levels in the game, when they hit level 25, they'll fill up their XP, but it won't level up anymore. They won't gain any more extra points. It'll just kind of, it basically pauses the function from working now, because it'll always check this every time they get XP, or they at least hit that level max. No. The next thing we want to do is, so if this is true, we just want to set our current XP, and we also want to set our buffer XP as our current max XP. Literally just plug those into there. If it's false, we that basically what that's doing is it's going to cancel that off now every time. It's just going to set it as our current max XP, and it won't do anything else. Okay, but if it's false, if these don't match and it is less, we want to increment our level. So we want to increment an int, and that int is going to be our current level. So it's just going to increment it by 1. No, it's not that one. That one, current level. No, sorry. I'm plugging the wrong things in and stuff. We want our current level. We want to increment it. Then we want to get our buffer XP, which is holding all of our XP, and we want to minus, so subtract our current max XP from it, because we don't need it. We don't need it because we're leveling up, right? We don't need it in our buffer. And then we want to set that whatever's left. So whatever's left in our buffer after that, we want to set as our remaining XP that we need. Okay? Because we're going to want to do something with it, which we're going to do in a minute. And then we want to calculate our max XP. So we want to upgrade our max amount of XP that we need to something higher. Then we want to set both our current XP, where's our thingies, current XP, our variables, and we want to set our buffer XP to 0, because all that buffer has gone straight in to our remaining XP. So we don't need anything in our buffer for now. And then all we need to do after that is add whatever's remaining back into our XP, so it runs the function again. So if you gain somehow 1000 XP for killing an enemy, and you only needed 200 to level up, and then only needed 400 to level up the next time, it will run this through. So it's just basically running that XP through the buffer, through the remaining, back into the buffer, so that it runs to check to make sure we don't have enough XP to level up 2 or 3 times. Okay, so it's going to keep doing it until it knows we haven't got more than our next level cap. And all we need to do now is just run that remaining XP into that add XP function, and it should work perfectly fine now. The only thing we now need to do is just add all this functionality into our player HUD. So first things first, I need a couple of progress bars. Progress bar, there it is. We want only one. We only need one. And then the next thing I need is an image, because we're just going to put that empty hexagon into that too. So drag that in as well. Set the we want to set up, where's the brush image? We want it to be our empty hexagon. Set the image size to 800, 800. Set this size to 100. Oh, 100 by 100. Yep, that looks about right. And then just add that into the shape. I know it's all a bit off, but that's fine. I'm going to have it all fixed up and done at some point. So for the background image, we again want to set this to empty hexagon. And to our fill image, we want it to be hexagon XP. There we go. There it is. Now it's not going to look 100% correct because, of course, we haven't actually upped the progress bar, but that's fine. Why is it looking a bit off shape? I don't know. Let's just squeeze it in a bit. Same for this one. It's not perfect. It doesn't need to be for now. I'm going to get a perfect one set up, but that's okay for now. Right. And I also want that to be bottom, top to bottom. No, other way around. But why is it blue? There we go. We'll just set it like that. That's okay. Works fine. It still looks a bit squashed to me. Why is it looking a bit squashed? It just looks a bit forced in. Let's bring you down a bit. And that looks okay. Anchor them as well. Don't forget to anchor them to the bottom left so they don't move around. Next, we want to bind the percentage. Create a binding. And luckily for us, we can pretty much copy most of this off. Graph. Paste all that down. Okay. Plug that into, plug that in there. Now I don't want to get this wrong like I did last time. Let's just make sure. Grenade reserve, what the, I don't know what that is about. Let's get rid of that. It is your current by your max, so that's fine. Okay, so we want to get current XP, and we want to divide it by our current max XP. There we go. Okay, and that will work fine. The other thing we want to do is I'm all over the place. Back to the designer. Now I want to get a text box. Okay, I want to put it in there, and I want to set it to 00, for example. Let's just set it to 00. Oh, okay, and then put that in there. Anchor it to the bottom right, and then all we want to do now is set that text to whatever our text is in for our level, right? Our current level. So again, cast to third person character. Get player character is fine, and all we want to do is get our level, our current level, int to text integer. Okay, that's fine, and then just plug it in, and that should also work perfectly fine. Now we need a way to test this, so I'm going to be a bit cheeky, and I'm going to find, oh my god, I've got so many things open. Let's close a few things down. Now we'll also have to add the current XPs, or the all of the text level caps, all that stuff. All's going to have to go into the save and load screen. Same for all the grenade information. I forgot to mention this last time when we were doing all that. All of that information needs to be saved and loaded in our save and load game system, just so in case you haven't done it. The next thing we need to do now is we need to run a event tick. So to begin setting this part up, what we need to do is we need to get an F interp, like so. Now we want to check our current and our target. So our current is our current XP, our target is our buffer XP, and the delta time is going to come straight from, you guessed it, our event tick. So it should look something a little bit like this. Now we also need to get another seal, like so, and we also need to set our current XP, like that, and we'll come off of our second sequence, like so. I'm going to add one of those cool funky little dots in there to keep this all looking a little bit sensible. I say sensible, there's nothing sensible about this. This spaghetti code is crazy. Right, that's all looking great. Add our little seal into our current XP, like so. Make it look all fabulous. There we go, beautiful. The next thing we do is we're going to finally use our calculate percentage function, wherever it is. Did I not make it? I think I called it wrong. It should be this one, right? Let me open it up. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, right. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? Okay, so adding your calculate XP, which should be calculate percentage, but you know, same difference. So we want to run that function, and then what we want to do is we want to do a branch straight after, like so. Boom. Then we want to get our current XP and make sure it is greater or equal to our current max XP, like so. There we go. There we go, there we go. Brilliant. Right, add that in. Okay. Next we want to do, if it's true, then we want to run our level up function. Okay, and that should be everything coming around full circle now. Okay, All of that now should potentially run, so long as we're adding XP for some reason. And to test it super quick, all I'm going to do is come down to where we fire our guns. So every time I shoot my rifle successfully, that is, I want to actually no, I can add it into here. So every time we shoot a gun, bum bum bum, let's add in add XP. There you go. I want to add 10 XP. Okay, any gun will do. I probably could add all into the same thing, but why not? Let's do 20 for firing a rifle, and let's do a whopping 50 for adding in for shooting our shotgun. Okay, so this is a brilliant way to test that it's working. So it's set to 100 right now. I don't think we have a level cap at this point. Where is our level cap? I probably should put one in. Oh, I do, 25. Current level should always be probably 1, I think. I don't think you should start at 0. I think you should start at 1. And then what we can do, once we've done all this, we can then start adding in some points, so you can have points to spend on leveling up different attributes. All of that will need to go to the saving loading game, as I'm sure you're already aware, but that's fine. We can cover that in another tutorial. So, let's get a weapon out. Well, oh wow, that added some serious XP, half already on just one shot. Good stuff. Level 2. Let's get our rifle out. Oh, so every time you click, not holding it down, sadly. Now we're level 3. Level 4. Now it's slightly off center. That's okay, that's fixable, but I haven't set. Oh, I realise I haven't set the shotgun up yet properly. Oh well. So we don't know how many ammo we've got. I should probably do that. There we go. But we're level 5 now already. Wow, we are rip-roaring through these levels. But that's all working. So all we need to do now in another tutorial down the line is once we know what we want to start upgrading. So it might be like ammo capacities, grenade capacities, things like that. Maybe health, more stamina. It all depends on what you need down the line, and if you even need it, you might choose you don't need this tutorial within your game, and that's fine. That works absolutely fine as long as it's right for you. That's okay. There we go. We've leveled up again. As you can see, we are starting to level up a hell of a lot slower. Like pistol does almost nothing now. So yeah. Now, of course, because I haven't added it actually into the shotgun functionality, even when I'm not actually able to shooting, I'm obviously still able to level up. So you probably kind of want to do it. You probably want to do it actually in the weapon functionality, so every time we fire, it runs, and not every time we click on fire. So every time I'm shooting, I'm holding it down, it should be running. So that's something to play in mind, but not that you'd want it when you're shooting anyway. It's just obviously for testing purposes that it obviously messes it up a little bit. So that's all working. Your level system should be working at this point. The only thing now we need to do is that every time we level up, we add a point to our point system so that players can start using points on upgrades. So thanks so much guys for watching. Hopefully this has been useful to you. Leave a little comment if there's anything you want me to cover. I am going to be covering ladder functionality soon, and I will be replacing my character with my own very soon. So keep an eye out for those tutorials. I'm probably going to use a meta-human character, to be honest. But yeah, leave me a little comment with any tutorials you want me to cover, and I'll see you all very soon. Thanks so much guys. Take care. Bye.